I thought the D-line was dominant once again today. It was also the offense's best day. I thought the offense had its most successful, I'm going to say like a bad word. Like
Oh, no.
I don't even know.
He hit a wall.
Cohesive?
Yeah. Connectivity. Like they were.
Coordinated? They looked coordinated
There
today?
we go. There we go.
Okay.
Wow, that was an effort.
I should have just let him cook. Sorry, guys.
Braid hurts.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel, presented by Connors and Ferris, Mike Catalana, Dan Fates. I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Closing on 40K.
40K. Please be sure. Like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Day 3 of Bills training camp here at Fisher. A little bit cooler of an afternoon. The humidity was still high, but some nice stuff on the field. We're going to talk a little bit Babich, Tre White, Ed Oliver, what we saw, our observations from this afternoon in Pittsburgh. So let's first start big picture. Just what did you make of today, as the Bills will have a break tomorrow and then practice resuming on Sunday?
Camp's flying by. We're 3 days in already. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, we're going to be a day off and then Sunday, and you're more than a third of the way through at least the St. John Fisher portion of it. Yeah. And I'll say this, it's pretty close. I think the offense made a little bit of a comeback today. We talk about that back and forth, and it was like, okay, they did. They like and they subscribe, and they were watching, and I thought that was the case. Still some nice plays on defense, but, James Cook had a 70-yard touchdown run.
Unbelievable. Some of the runs after the catch have been outstanding.
Now, we kid, but the way it works. You can't tackle. So the defenders will sort of slap at him, and they'll keep running, and everybody cheers, and that's great. I mean, there's some people who actually want to count that as like a real touchdown, if you can imagine that.
The bubble screens that
they
go up to him and they kind of stop, and then rightly so, the offense finishes the play because that is what they're taught to do.
Yeah. And not that wasn't a good play, because we saw that to Shakir. Keon Coleman had one when he went to the house. No one was able to tackle him, but he was moving. It was a good play. We're not taking away from the play. We're just like, it wouldn't have gone that far.
Yeah.
I summarized today looking at both sides. I thought the D-line was dominant once again today. I was talking about Joey Bosa. Greg Rousseau looked great. TJ Sanders has been living in the backfield, it seems like, constantly. It was also the offense's best day. That's partly because the D-line getting in there can't sack Josh Allen. So, there are a couple plays that are completed that the D-line is also celebrating because they go, that play should have been blown dead. So I thought the offense had its most successful, I'm going to say like a bad word.
Oh, no.
I don't even know.
He hit a wall.
Cohesive?
Yeah. Connectivity. They were
coordinated. They looked coordinated
There
today?
we go. There we go.
Okay.
Wow, that was an effort.
I should have just let him cook. Sorry, guys.
Braid hurts. It was hot out there.
It was hot. It rained a little bit.
Not even a decimal involved in this one.
All right, well, since we're talking about the offense, or do you...
Was cohesive?
Cohesive.
Comprehensive?
I would say cohesive is probably the word you're looking for.
You were there in the beginning, and then you veered off the highway.
Yeah, I got scared and chickened out of whatever word it was, and then I just ended up with nothing.
Well, what was your point?
That I thought the offense looked better.
Okay.
I thought Josh, especially yesterday, he got better towards the end, but as we talked about on the channel, he was kind of rough in the beginning. I thought from the start today, he had a perfect pass to Khalil Shakir, the first rep of 7-on-7. Khalil kind of ran a crosser, and it was perfectly thrown, perfect touch right over Cole Bishop for a touchdown. That was the kind of tempo. I thought that was his best throw of training camp.
Yeah.
Right off the bat on 7-on-7. So that kind of set the tone that I thought the offense was dialed in. Now again, D-line getting a ton of pressure up the middle and on the right side. But one, Josh doesn't get sacked a ton to begin with.
Yeah.
Two, they can't blow the play dead.
Yeah. All right, let's start. Well, let's do our pass catcher of the day then, since we're talking a little bit about the offense. Was there a guy that stood out to you?
See, mine's not right, because I'm going to say it again. To me, it's Curtis Samuel. I just like the way he looks. I know I said it yesterday, so I'll defer to Dan or Jen if you want to say it.
Yeah.
I think Curtis Samuel looks like a guy who knows what he can do for this team. I think he understands. He did not do it last year. Injuries, whatever it is. It's the
a guy.
NFL. Nobody gets a pass. It's like, you got to do it. I think he looks good. He's a veteran player who has done it multiple times. I expect him to look good in a camp setting. It's a matter of taking that onto the field, but I think he's looked good.
So I have someone different, and I'm curious if it's the same as you. Josh Palmer today really had some pop. Now, we saw earlier on in camp him and Josh having some side conversations. You could tell they were kind of trying to get on the same page. Even yesterday when I walked over to when the receivers were doing some individual work, it was actually McDermott and Josh Palmer talking. But today I thought you really saw some of the catches that you want to see from him. He had a great catch, Max Hairston in coverage. It was just it looked like, yeah, you're the rookie, I'm the vet. And it was one of those passes where you thought, like, okay, he could be a weapon if him and Josh could continue to get on the same page. But for me, I was like, Josh Palmer really popped out to me.
I think I can see the apparel already coming out now of Josh and Josh. Like they look like they've gotten on the same page early on in camp. Like, I don't know if you remember this MVS guy. They never really seemed to get on the same page. I don't know who would ever make hot takes about that guy.
Yeah.
That's so cringy.
You got to be all over the
me.
map.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this question, though?
Yes.
Did he not say at one point he wanted to be Joshua?
I thought it's in writing. He likes Joshua.
Okay.
Because that was the same
That
thing
was,
with
I think,
Hairston.
yeah.
He likes Maxwell in print.
Because Josh is not Joshua, is he? Josh Allen.
No, it's Josh Allen.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've solidified it's Josh Allen.
No, I don't mean what we call him. I mean his full name. So it's Joshua.
And it's still trying to balance the expectations. Like, the Bills spent a lot of money on Josh Palmer. They expect him to be a true number 2 wide receiver.
It's not like, cute, you're here. It's like, no, show up and do something.
Like, so could he have a John Brown type impact on this team? Maybe. He's had a season where he's had 6 touchdowns and 700 yards. But where does he fit in? I'm excited and pleased by the start that they've gotten off to on the same page.
Yeah.
Because we could easily be having discussions here by going, Josh and Josh is, they got to work some things out. We're not. They look very much connected. And Josh, at times, feeling like he's almost forcing it to him. Like it seems like, hey, I'm going to make a conscious effort to get Josh Palmer the ball.
Yeah.
I think your John Brown comparison, as the amount of time in the league, maybe John Brown had a little bit more at the time he came to the Bills, but was still a very effective player.
He had 1,000-yard season before his 3rd year in Arizona. He had 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. Also, the deep ball, Josh had a nice one to Elijah Moore. I can't remember who was in coverage. I was say.
I think it was Cam Lewis, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I was just saying.
Cam Lewis was all over the place today.
He was.
He was.
He had a breakup on one pass and then a deep ball that was great coverage on Josh Palmer. He was right there with him and was able to break it up. Like, again, a guy that just continues to make plays and stick around.
You are going to have to drag him off this roster. I hear people dismiss Cam sometimes and be like, well, this guy. And I know sometimes you got to get younger and you want that to happen. But the guy can play in the slot. He can play safety.
Yeah.
He's not really he's
their
not an
Swiss
outside
Army
corner, but
He's
he
their
can
Swiss
do
Army
that. And he
knife.
plays teams, and he's done it for them. And to use the phrase again, they trust him. You mentioned Elijah Moore. There was a play. Josh threw an out. I don't know if you remember this one. Elijah Moore slipped, went down.
Oh.
So it's an interception. A lot of times those interceptions are like, oh, guy just made a play.
Taylor Rapp
Dove and pulled it in.
He
Great
had 2
play.
today.
Yeah, he's been
So he
having
looked
some
good.
nice days, I should say. Bobby Babich at the podium talking today, 2nd season as defensive coordinator. What kind of stood out to you guys about what he had to say, other than the fact that he always brings the juice in press conferences, on the field? Like, he would be the number 1 cheerleader, I feel like.
First team all juice.
Yes, truly.
Listening to him talk about Trey was the first time I think we've really had a coach or anybody in the front office be so excited about Trey's play on the field.
Yes.
Remember you asked?
Yeah.
I think it was Sean about
competing with the guys, and if he's there.
And you didn't get the answer that was like, oh, Trey's coming here to take people's roster spots. It was he's going to come here and do all the right things. He said Trey is on a mission.
Yeah.
And what was very interesting to me was he goes, during one-on-ones or teams yesterday, he goes, I went up to Trey and asked him how he's feeling. And Trey said, I feel like I have my legs under me. And then I asked Trey what that's like, and he goes, the last few off seasons, it has just been rehabbing and rehabbing. He's like, I put a lot of effort into my off-season programs, and I haven't been able to do them.
Not even just rehabbing. He said the 2 worst injuries you can have at my position, ACL and an Achilles.
Yeah.
Brutal for him to come back. listen, I said to you about the being sentimental about
Yes.
a player. I'm much more encouraged about Trey White, and not from I would love to see if Trey could play. I loved his answer when he talked about being a starter. People know the way I can play, and that's the way he wants to play. He is doing everything he can for Max Hairston.
Yep.
But he wants to win that
handing
job.
him no job.
He is
Yeah.
not doing that, and I want to hear that. Meritocracy in this league. Trey was that guy as a rookie. Came
Yeah.
in, going to start him. Very different team, but he did.
Christian Benford.
Came in, you're
Meritocracy.
going to start him.
Yeah.
Now it's this case. And if Trey is better or more ready, and who knows, that could be for 4 weeks. Like, you never know
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
But I liked that out of Trey today. Still got the other part.
I was gonna say.
But he's got I can show people I can play.
Yeah, it's not just like a feel-good story that he's back. He's looking at this as like, no, I want to be on the field. Will I give Mac Hairston the little nuggets, the little tips, the little helps, as you like to say? I will, but also that competitive fire.
Yeah.
And I loved what he had to say about his offseason and the way he was able to approach things, having his legs
Yeah.
under him, actually. Because he said, when you're rehabbing, you can't really do the offseason work that you want to because you're focusing on a certain spot, certain position. It kind of limits you in terms of what you want to do. So I feel like
Sorry.
it's okay.
Trying to find a tweet.
So
okay.
if that stays in the pod, I did the exact same thing yesterday.
Yeah,
But
was
we
gonna
took
say-
that out of the pod
Yes.
yesterday. But yeah.
Trey's quote, I put a lot of bleeping hard work in. It's going to be a great bleeping season.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love that for him.
And
The
Max,
first time I was like,
Yeah.
did he just?
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought
then he
too.
said it again, and I was like, he's saying it.
Yeah.
And then he said it's going to be a great bleeping season.
And Max has made some big plays and moments. I like what Babich said about him too. We're not riding the roller coaster with a rookie.
Yeah.
He's out there. He definitely has his
Yes.
ability flashes on
Yep.
the field.
Yes.
Now the question is, there's a lot to playing corner in the NFL that
Yeah.
isn't all about the flash. That guy's got the flash.
Yeah.
It's funny you talk about this isn't just a feel-good story anymore. It kind of, for a split second, it's similar to how Babich talked about Joe Andreessen. Like,
Yeah.
he's no longer Buffalo Joe. Like, this isn't just
In
Trey
the most
White.
positive way
Correct.
possible.
This isn't
yeah.
Trey White coming back for some ceremonial retirement.
Yes.
Trey's coming back to be asked to be a contributing member
Yeah.
on a defense that has to be better and expects to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it was cool what he signed and the videos of him coming back and all this stuff. And now it's like, okay, can he play?
Yeah.
Like, that's great. But he needs to be able to play. That, to me, was what really stood out to me.
I loved it. All right, something else that was really cool today. So Bobby Babich, obviously entering his second season as defensive coordinator. You might remember this, but his father, Bob Babich, a part of the Bills staff for a long time, was an assistant coach.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the podcast,
Big
Bob.
friend.
He has liked, commented, and
Yes,
subscribed.
which we very much
Great
appreciate.
talking
Appreciate
to
it,
Bob.
Bob.
To say, so Bob was at practice, obviously Bobby out there, and then Bobby's son Bray also here. So 3 generations of Babiches.
I love alliteration.
I just think that is so cool. And Bob talked about how, he's retired now. It's nice for him to be on the sidelines, like kind of the pressure off because he's not a coach. But he said it was a dream come true seeing his son and his grandson out there. And I mean,
Yeah.
how
and-
can you not love that?
and it is.
Yeah, it's
That-
amazing.
And he also said, we asked him about working with Bob. Like, is he going back and
Yeah.
forth? And he's like, I wait for him
Yeah.
Yes.
to ask me something.
We looked at Bob's career, and it is insane. The amount of places that he traveled, the defensive coordinator jobs, the position coaches that he did. It is like in a phone book, the amount of places that he traveled to. And that's why I think when we talked to Bobby, was like, it's really cool to see that here because football has given my family
Yeah.
so much. And what it's given, his dad and all the things that they have is through the game of football.
That's cool.
You know what's great, too?
What's
you would
great?
think that, I'm going to tell you, you would think that sometimes with a family that had to move and a coach is going all over the place, that wouldn't be the case. So Bobby is a coach, and Bobby's sister married a coach.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the family business is what they do, right? It absolutely is. So I think that's great.
We did ask, too, if grandson Bray would be interesting at one point in coaching, and Bob's answer was yes. Now, he's a quarterback,
He's a
though, so a little
quarterback.
bit
Oh.
different, other
Yep.
side of the ball.
he knows how to beat
I was
defense.
going to say, little trade secrets, but that was a cool note of
Yeah.
today at practice. And, Yeah, I mean, it's a family atmosphere here anyways, but very special for the Babich family. So that was something that was neat.
I'm going to transition, just to stay with Bobby Babich, because I asked him about Joey Bosa today, and he went into, we have a plan for him. We don't want to wear him down. You know, I don't know if he used the word wear him down, but it was about making sure he's healthy.
Yeah.
And they
Keep him
want him
fresh.
here to February, you know, is the kind of thing. But I asked, is he a 3-down player for you? Now, he could play as a pass rushing specialist. That's not the plan with Joey Bosa. The question is, how many snaps does he play? There are different ways to give guys limited snaps.
Yep.
With some players, it's get them out there in obvious pass rushing situations. With other players, it's maybe a limited amount of total snaps in a game. You know, the idea is they want to get him as physically ready as he can, be smart with him, and have him play. But he's going to be out there, at least when he's healthy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be bubble wrap him until January. That is not the case for this team.
Wow. I think it's one of those things that they will have to monitor and do every single day, but what he could add. Now, you had a guy that you tweeted about that I think could be our new dude of the day, and his name is TJ Sanders.
Yeah, I had him for day one, and I think he could be absolutely the guy again today. He has been living in the backfield, and if you told me today, I know it's an overreaction and an exaggeration that we're 3 days through training camp, he looks like the second best defensive tackle on the team right now. Like, it looks like if you had a big player, you're starting, and you're sitting there, you're going, Greg, Joey, Ed, and TJ Sanders.
There's no rule preventing that from happening. You know what I mean?
That is correct.
You know, sometimes
We should check with the NFL, but I believe you are correct.
I do want to ask sometimes of a player being thought of as a rookie. And I know a lot of times it's during the season. They'll say, you're not rookies anymore. I'm talking about right now. Like, be a rookie, do all the things you need to do, but don't play like a rookie.
Bobby talked about TJ's been great and how well he has played and all these things. He's like, I have had to rein him in a little bit because it's like, hey, you're a rook. Like this is how things go. So I think he's a personality, he's a character, all of these things. I just love the way that he has been, like, blinders on, getting in the backfield. He's just been living back there, and it's funny because the play goes on. And he's like, the D-line is celebrating, or the other defensive players, because they know the impact that he's had on the play. It doesn't matter if Josh completed it. And you can look at two things separately on the same play. Great throw by Josh. And also say, TJ Sanders probably blew up that play.
Yeah. Did you have a new dude of the day?
Yeah, the one I wanted to bring up was Dion Walker. And the reason I wanted to bring him up is, so we were talking to Ed, and I said to him, listen, we can stand there and look out on the field and go, man, that Dion Walker is big.
Large human being.
And Ed goes, he is a massive human being.
You talking about Dion? Yep. Dion is one massive human on, like, ballerina legs. Like, if you could take a bear and put ballerina legs on him, like, he literally is a dancing bear, like one of the biggest guys I've ever been around. But he moves so fluently. And if you look at his legs, he got these athletic legs and then a big upper body. And he just fluent. Like, some big guys like, he's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Ed was awesome today on a lot of things, but describing the way Dion is physically and then the way he moves was something to hear.
Well, I was also watching too when they were doing the sled drill. So they're kneeling and they're extending and pushing those big heavy sleds. For a big guy that's had back problems, to see the bend and the flex and the push that he could get from that position, I sat there. It would hurt my back looking at it.
Yeah.
And I went, he must be feeling pretty good to be able to do this. That was a big sign to me.
We were just talking to you about the power you need to have to just be able to generate those sleds back, and then the violence. I think it's one of those things that you don't really think about, and then when you see it that close, you're like, wow.
And it's, again, wanting to know to what extent there are big football players that are 6'6" and above that play defensive tackle. But they're not all disruptors to that extent. Some of them just eat double teams. But to have, if Dion can have a bend to go with his size, that's what makes Chris Jones so elite, because he plays like he's 6 foot. It's why Ed has an advantage getting lower than offensive linemen. They say low man wins. So Dion has that going against him. But if he can have the bend to go along with the size and the speed and the pressure and all that stuff, then all of a sudden you're going, this guy is a game wrecker.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to comp him to a guy who has had an incredible career through the years, but you talk about a tall, immensely big football player, Calais Campbell. Now, he's like 6'8", and he is a powerful force. But physically, you look at him. I mean, 6'8" is even another notch. It's
Yeah.
incredible when you see him. But the size of Walker and that ability to move like that is really something to see.
You also were in on the Ed Oliver interview, just in general. You said he was really good today. Like, what to you made it such a great interview?
So we talked about Joey Bosa, and Bosa said, what did he say? I spent more time, I feel like, off the field with
Hanging
my teammates
out, yeah.
here than I did in my whole time in LA, is kind of what he said. And it is a way they do things. And Ed talked about that, and he said, really, Vaughn brought it up. And he's like, we got to be together here, off the field. And he said they go out to dinner, I think he said every Thursday night. Imagine what that's like. But then they take turns. I think the way it usually works with the guys who've made a lot of money, those guys take the turns paying.
Yeah.
Like, it's dinner for the group. They're not having some
Javon
rookie.
Solomon's not
paying.
You would
right.
hope not,
When the
yeah.
guys who've gotten paid. And he said, we talk about life. We talk about things on the field. We get together as
Love
a
that.
group. And I think that's good. I mean, when
We're
we
a
talk.
family, Herb.
Well, it's
You like that one?
Yeah.
That was a good one, huh? We're a family.
oh, so good. It is the
He's a hell of
culture
a hockey
stuff.
player.
I love that movie.
It is the culture.
I got the pause.
Think about the differences when you can do that with people you work with, when it can be stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you go
Why do you
out,
think I'm still here?
but they go
We're a
out.
family.
Boy, I'm having the toughest time getting through this. And they talk about things, and then everybody's on board. What did Bosa say? He said, I'm getting texts like, hey, we're doing this. You want to go? And so I think that's important. I've always heard of offensive linemen doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like D-line,
Yeah.
like, you don't really
Because you always
expect
think
that.
about the offensive line as like an orchestra. That's what they say. Like, they all have to be working in
Yeah.
sync. Defensive line is like, I'm going to get mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you can combine that with stunts and teamwork together, then it can be something really special.
And they all play. A lot of
Yes.
them are going to play. So
yeah,
that's
no,
good.
that's true.
Injuries.
Yeah.
Yes. So Dawson Knox, hamstring,
Yep.
still not practicing. Spencer Brown, the back, still not out there.
I saw him out there, just
Oh,
not in pads. I
okay.
saw him today for
Okay.
the first time.
Okay.
AJ with the ankle. I'm worried about the Dorian Williams thing.
So Dorian Williams in a boot. You never love to see that.
Yeah.
He was out on the field watching,
Yep.
and I know that doesn't seem like much, but a lot of times at camp, they're not out. They're doing rehab. He had the boot on. It's a calf. That just kind of concerns me a little bit. That's precautionary, I'm sure. We haven't heard a lot of details on it, but he was standing on the sidelines.
First fight of camp, in the least shocking news of the day, Alec Anderson was right involved in it.
Yeah.
With Hayden Harris. Helmet ripped off, couple swings thrown, and that was about it.
Yeah. That tracks.
That
Yeah.
was about it. But Alec Anderson to start the first fight was like minus 3,000 in training.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
AJ
needed to bet.
Epinesa, I
Yeah.
do want to note, though, he also was not practicing today.
Right,
He
with
was
the ankle.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, did we
Yep.
mention that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
And one last thing, just from the practice recap, Keon Coleman, up and down day. He was locked down again by Maxwell Harrison early on in the 7-on-7. Had a catch over the middle. Trey slipped. Keon, that was the one that he caught about 15 yards over the middle of the field and then took it to the house. And then he had two really bad drops at the end of practice.
Yeah.
Ran a
Yeah.
glass half full, ran a great route to get open, was wide open over the middle of the field, ball bounced right off his hands
Yeah.
and for a drop.
Yeah.
Then we went to one-on-ones. Great release against Trey White. I liked the agility off the line to get open. Ball went right through his hands again.
Yeah.
That was like a 5-minute span to end practice. Rough ending to practice for Keon.
You saw those little flashes, though, but him able to catch the ball.
Yeah.
And that was some of the things that you want.
I liked that he got open.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, you see.
So like I
just-
liked the first half of the play.
Yeah.
Even Joe Brady's like,
I'll
we
be like,
gotta
Dan,
finish.
how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
I thought about that. I was like,
Yeah, it'd be a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Also, an encouraging note that 17 threw the ball better today.
yes.
He did.
So that's
Imagine
good.
that.
Yeah, so I think the kids got.
I mean, we were
some
ready to say
opportunities.
QB competition.
That's right.
Kidding. All right.
Shout out to Micah and Jennifer.
Yes.
They have been big subscribers of the channel. It was great to see you guys again today.
And they're doing well.
They're doing
We
well.
Love to see it.
Prayers always, and I wish I had more time. It was a busy day at practice, so thinking of you, shoot me a text.
That's awesome. And shout out to Chris, who mentioned I saw him on the sidelines after we were talking to Bob Babich. So he's a big fan of the podcast.
We
as
love
well.
it. And shout out to you all. Remember, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. So the Bills have the day off on Saturday. Tomorrow they will be back to practice on Sunday here at Fisher. We'll continue to have our Bills training camp.
It's funny Dan's doing
recaps.
that with the bugs because it looked like Jenna was just dismissing him.
Yep.
She just kept going like
No,
this.
I wasn't doing. Oh, well, you mean when he was talking before? Actually, wow. Now that you say that, I was trying to
Because
be
if you didn't know there
helpful.
was a bug, you
All
were
right,
like,
yeah, let's wrap it up.
Goodbye, Dan.
All right, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Reminder, find the audio-only podcast available wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much for watching. For Mike Catalana and Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Thanks for watching Buffalo Plus, presented by Connors and Ferris. Woo!